All right. Let's chat some shit. Dog shit. Dog shit. Wolf in. All right. Cheers. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having me. Cheers. Wash. No, I didn't even ask. Do you want a soda water or champagne or anything? Just nothing.
There, parch.
Yeah. I'm excited to welcome a new guest. Alex Hull is from Margie Me. Where are you based?
Inner West.
Inner West, dog trainer. I met this lovely, handsome gentleman at a dog training business seminar that I attended with another friend of mine who introduced us. And we've enjoyed good chat and support and communication, and now we're both doing the mentorship program that we keep saying we're mentioning in all these podcasts, and I keep saying we will talk about it in another one. We will talk about it in another one properly, but not this one. So give us a quick 5 minute of like who you are, what do you do, where you're based, what's Margie Me all about, who's Margie?
Who's Margie? So we'll start with Margie. Margie is my little just turned 4-year-old English staffy. Little pocket rocket. Everyone says that she still looks like a puppy, which she kind of does.
Yeah.
Puppy face. Yeah, got her from a pup at that same sort of time, and segueing into who I am and sort of how I got into dog training.
Yep.
Was really unhappy in the career that I was in and just needed to change. So unlike a lot of dog trainers that ended up with an arsehole dog, I kind of got in before I got my puppy.
Yep.
And started studying through NDTF.
Cool.
And then, probably a few weeks into that was the timing of like me getting Margie. Or maybe I just got before. Terrible.
Yeah. Somewhere there. Yeah.
Did my study. That is basically all online. And then they have like 2 practical blocks.
Okay.
Once I finished my second practical block and had passed my practical assessments, I started Margie Me. And was just doing that like a couple of days a week. And around that same sort of time, I started volunteering at a shelter or a charity camp.
Cool. Which is sort of what we want to talk about a bit more today when I rang on the phone.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat about rescues. They were like, when I called you that day, or I texted you, I think we spoke, and that day I was just having a moment with another client who just rescued a dog. And I was like, we got to talk about this. Such a like potent point to sort of bring up.
It's a big topic. Like there's obviously a lot of people do rescue. There's a lot of different rescues, breed specific areas, whatever. So there's for sure a lot to talk about. So yeah, I started volunteering there. I think I was working in my old job, and then Margie Me like a couple of days a week, volunteering there 1 day a week. And then pretty soon into volunteering there, probably only after about a month or something, they offered me a casual position there as a junior or level 2 animal attendant.
Cool.
So quit the other job.
Yeah. You going to tell us what that was?
It was in prefabricated timber house frames and trusses.
Okay.
So
like in the factory floor sort of put stuff
Yeah,
together.
so I was an ops manager for that. It was family business.
Oh, nice.
So the goal initially was...
Sorry, family.
Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah. All left on like good terms, all good.
Okay,
like,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still invited to Christmas.
That's it.
Cool.
They just want me to be happy. So it just was not going to be for me. I just didn't see myself taking that over. So yeah, got offered the job there as sort of casual AA, still doing my own thing part-time. That was amazing. Like, I can't thank them enough for sort of giving me my first proper like shot into it.
Yeah.
You get to handle a lot of dogs, lots of mentor dogs, lots of staffies, lots of staffy mixes.
Yeah.
Various different behavior problems, but
Bully breeds.
all the bully breeds, a fair amount of reactivity. Even just that environment is quite a stressful environment. So a dog that would normally be reactive to become reactive.
Yeah, less time in those sort of shelters, rescues, the better. Like, I know there's dogs in there and they're like, oh, he's been in for 400 days and it's a great dog, but like, they can be an hour. Much. It's traumatic, but like, it's easier to get over a short trauma period than not.
Yeah. And definitely like some breeds cope with it better than others.
Yep.
But yeah, unfortunately they are full of those sort of like staffy mixes.
Yeah.
Were
they a specific sort of rescue? You know how like this working?
No.
They're just like a
charity pound. So
cool.
privately like run charity, working with council, but not run by council.
Yeah, cool. Self-funded or they had backing and stuff like that, I guess. Both, bit of both. Yeah, nice. That's cool.
So yeah, worked there. Did a stint there where I was there like full time, then backed it off, and then just started building up my own business. And you drop from doing 3 days there to 2 days, and then eventually kind of just got to like pull the plug and just go.
Chuck the boat.
You know what? The experience is great. Working there does take its toll emotionally for sure, and physically. Like, a very physical job, very emotionally draining sort of job.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I pulled the pin and went, all right, cool, just going to go out on my own. And then have been doing my own thing full time for probably like a year and a half. I think Margie Me is about to turn 3.
Cool.
And yeah, never look back. So wouldn't change a thing, and just continuing to push and grow, and trying to learn as much as I can, and go to seminars, meet people like you.
Yep. Do the networking,
do all the right stuff.
Learn from others. Try and learn from other people's mistakes. We all make both of them. And what are you focusing on anything specifically right now with Margie Me, or are you just being, I'll help you with your dog?
Like right now, making a bit of a shift. So I have been kind of just like, whatever, like any breed, any problem, whatever.
Yeah.
Because of like the shelter work and stuff like that, it did morph into, and there is a lot of reactivity around. Like that's a super common issue. So a lot of it was reactivity. And then I did sort of fall into this thing of doing a lot of walker trains, or like more than a walk that I call it.
That's a good name for it.
Which is, I was trying to move away from this. I advocate a lot for like play-based training, playing with your dog and fulfilling your dog, and that like, really don't actually just walk your dog. Like you can do so much more for your dog without walking them.
Yeah.
So I wanted to call the service something that reflected that. So it was more than a walk. And it's about sort of hitting these points. So we do like training, we do play, we of course try and give people free time, stuff and whatever else, to try and hit all these points to fill all of their buckets and make them feel fulfilled, so that they're returned happy dogs, fulfilled dogs.
Yeah. It does become a bit of a broken record, I think, when I'm talking to clients, being like, we're going to talk about fulfillment, and they're like, man, he gets like 3 1-hour walks a day, and like, I go around the block and I take him here, and I'm like, so for your blue heeler or for your border collie, do you do any like sniffing, biting, chewing, tracking, killing, hunting, any of those sort of instinctual drives? And they're like, oh, I let him sniff every tree. I'm like, we need to talk. Let's sit down before I tell you how bad a job you're doing. Not that you're doing a bad job, it's just the effort that they can be putting in. For 3 1-hour walks, you could drum down to like 2 30 minutes and have like a way happier dog.
Yeah.
You'll be happier and just achieve so much more. All right, so, cool. All right, that's Margie Me. So we have I know you're looking at this blank space, but we have a guy behind the camera who we go, and he puts your logo up there on the wall.
Lovely.
So that's Margie Me, guys.
What is like, why rescue? Just like, why do you want to advocate and bring awareness to the rescue space, and what particular about rescues do you want to raise awareness about?
I think rescues get a fair amount of promotion, and there's this kind of like, adopt, don't shop saying out there, which is, I'm about it for, I guess I don't mind that, but I'm more for you getting the right dog for you. And a rescue may not be the right dog for you and your family. So if that's the case, then I'm all for you getting from an ethical breeder.
Correct.
I myself got from a breeder, and like for my next dog, there's probably a fairly decent chance again that I'll want to raise a puppy, and I will probably get from a breeder.
Yeah, which is what you're doing. Or is just starting to hunt? Yeah, telling your story. You're hunting your breeders. Liam, you're going to get it again.
I've had this discussion. It's been put on pause, but I'm still hunting.
Yeah.
I know I've got on a tree of breeders I'm looking into. I've got Border Collie and Aussie Shepherd breeders I'm looking into. Very rich, distinct in what lines they come from, who the parents are, what the parents have done, health checks and all that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather spend the money knowing I'm investing in a good pup, and just knowing that I won't have to go through trials, hopefully, of reactivity on the issues that come with a rescue. But I just don't think my partner would handle a rescuer.
Yeah.
But I would be down to rescue if they happen to fall.
For sure.
Then, do all the work it needs to, on a bad day. Lucky, restart.
That's staying in. That's staying in. Yeah. There's no filters. So.
I would be very much down for a rescue, but current life and the current partner, it would just not suit lifestyle-wise and just
No,
work-wise.
you cannot say current partner.
Oh, yeah.
That is so bad. You cannot say. I got you, Liam. You can't say current partner. That's a whole thing. Did you see those things going around on Instagram where it's my current wife and they just get hammered? I can't believe you said that. Okay, carry on.
I don't like this. I want to restart.
Can't restart. There's no stopping it now.
Yeah.
Ball is rolling.
Lucky. Let's staring down a
Well, look, I these guys are all rescues. I love a rescue. And I think it's not because I don't want to raise a puppy, but like I got Wally at like 4 or 5 months. So like toilet trained and like sleeping in his bed and crate trained and like just a couple of basics. Not dog, it was kind of dog socialized, but it got worse because we tries to like settle it down and it went shits up and ended up with reactivity. But fix that. But I do like a rescue, and like I've seen only two, it's been said, really nice golden retrievers come through rescues, and Lockie's getting one.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and they're banging dogs, like they're unreal, like they're super lucky to get a golden retriever come to a rescue. Like that's pretty rare that people honk up a dog that's not good, and then people that have a loving dog tend to rehome outside of rescues. So like you still classified as like a rescue because you're adopting somebody else's dog, but not that's like Cedar. She's a rescue anyway from Working Paws. Can you Working Paws?
Yeah.
And now I've sort of adopted her again off Bob's a friend.
Part-time.
We're co-parenting, kind of. We never
The
dated.
divorced
We
parents
never
are
dated.
dating.
We never dated or anything like that. We're kind of co-parenting.
Yeah, nice.
While she's off doing other stuff, and I totally understand because, like, when I was, I think I told this in one of the other ones, when I was 30, I wanted to go and do other stuff, and I pissed off overseas for 2 years, and I had to find somebody to take on my 6-year-old Staffy at the time, Angus. And one of my friends took him on, which was a really cool story, actually. He had an autistic son, and Angus was like a cafe dog. We had cafe, so you had cafe every day. So I love people, kids. People come in, like, with their babies in the bed with him and stuff like that every day. Everyone's feeding him bacon. Can we get some bacon for the dog? Like, no, I'm not cooking extra bacon for the dog. And please don't give him some of yours, but I know you're going to. But I'm not making extra.
Yeah.
And we managed to keep him pretty lean and muscular. But my friend had an autistic son, and they just got along because his son he's non-verbal, but he could kind of like bash on the Staffy a bit and play a bit rough. And the Staffy loved him. Like they're both eating shit, pissing in the garden, and like the autistic son, like they'll ring me and be like, "You're cracking up, mate. Angus is out there doing shit, so my son's out there doing the shit as well." Like they're both in the pot plants or whatever. It's hilarious, but they ended up being best buds, and he ended up living to be like 16 years old. He had cancers cut out and all sorts. And, they ended up moving up to a farm, and he saw his days out up there. So they now have another one. He might actually afford it. It'd be a good thing to get on. But that was a cool thing. So yeah, anyway, so I see this sidetrack, but yeah. So your question was why rescues and
What kind of message I want to
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
yeah,
I guess one of the things too, and like from my experience, like for sure, if you think a rescue is right for you, definitely investigate. The other big thing is like so many people come into it thinking that they're gonna find this like damaged dogs, or that they're all like damaged goods. They've all got these like, and they come in to be like, what's their backstory, right? And like, I swear 9 times out of 10, it's just like people's life situation changed. This dog got picked up. They couldn't afford to pay the fees to like get it, and they kind of just go like, and the dog just gets like left there. Or like all of these like Staffy and Woolly fixes and stuff, like they're just excitable. They're just like big energy, have no outlet.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes out in some reactivity or something, but like they're not these like crazy dogs that have been abused or like that. For sure can happen, and like rescues see that and stuff. But for the most part, they're all right, and like you can treat them like dogs. Like
Yeah.
you know, you get them, and like people are like, oh, like, I don't want to crate train my rescue because it was in a thing, or I don't want to be like this, or because it was in a thing, and it's like you're doing this dog a disservice. Treat it like a dog. Like it's a dog. It's had a bit of a rough start to life because it's been given up or whatever, but like now it's got a lovely home.
And I think that's the big one that gets me, and that's probably where my gripe started. I had a really nice chat with a lady this week, and she's got a cattle dog cross from a rescue, and she's like, we've been doing all this stuff, and it's been a month, and we're really nervous because she's getting a bit bitey, this and that, and we just like we don't want to give up on her, but like we're walking her 2 and 3 times a day, like we're feeding her here, and then she sleeps in my bed, and like we're doing all the right stuff, like she's well fulfilled, and like and I was like, all of that could be what's causing the problem. Like constant sleeping in your bed is going to bring like dependence or codependence or separation anxiety or whatever you want to call it, but they're going to struggle to be away from you, or they're going to resource guard you because you're so valuable. You're not going to be able to operate when you're not around. And then your lead walking around the block is just like the stimulus merry-go-round, man. Like it's just chaos. And then three times a day, and it's pulling and lunging, and it's just so much practice of the behavior that they've had it for 2 months. And the last month, they're just like, it's really escalated, and now we need help. And we always offer a big discount and a big free training package, and I'll give advice for free on the phone to them, anyone who's got a rescue, like no end, as long as it's not putting me out. But most of the time when I'm driving around, I'm on the phone to somebody, like just chatting about their issue, but yeah, I think that's the big one where like a lot of people are like, well, they've had a tough life and they've been in the kennel, so we want to like coddle them and spoil them. And the spoiling and the too much walking on a short lead when you're not ready for that could just undo it so quick. And the rescues, we working with North Shore Dog Rescue, NDR ladies, you're doing a great job. They're self-funded guys just up Turramurra sort of area, and I even got a dog from them and helped get out, and then had her foster here for a couple of weeks, but my dogs didn't get along with her, so we found I get a better foster place, and then we actually found her at home, which was cool. And sure, let's just say
North Shore's doing a great job. Great rescue. Go get a dog player. Shout out to them.
Oh, they give a really good, like, I don't know what you guys, was there an information package or like
the
training
adoption
book
pack or like the foster pack, and it has like the
3x3
rule,
yeah,
and
right,
stuff like that.
And I tried with Callum to film. We were going to put together a training pack. We never ended up finishing it because we just both got sidetracked with the mentorship. But we wanted to film it and then give it to them with like 3 videos, 3 training documents and everything, and then just our details on the bottom, because we get a lot of business through the rescues, right? Like you probably still get calls from people who are.
I did for a while. There's now like not really anyone there that I know, but for a period for sure.
Yeah, someone you have touch with, right?
Yeah.
So I still speak to the rescues pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And like the girls coming on a reactivity course. What was the other lady doing one in March? There's a lot coming through there, but they don't offer that extra bit.
Yeah.
There's none of the, bless them, none of them are trainers. They're not handlers or trainers or behavioralists or they're really preach and like 3x3x3, stay away from dogs, use long lines, like no heavy punishment. They're into a slip lead if they need it, but they'll do a session so they learn how to use it or something. It's not just throw it on and wing it. They're all preaching like raw feeding. They got sponsorship from like really good food companies. They get all their flea and tick stuff provided. Like the girls do an epic job giving people all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they need a follow-up call or they need a training. Like we should finish the training module and give them, maybe you could come and help finish it. And then give them that, because it's like just using food motivators, they don't have food motivation. They're still bowl feeding. It's like a real simple one.
Yeah.
And they're like, we've got treats, and because they for life treat. It's
like the Save a Life?
Save a Life, that's the one. Yeah. So they give them packets of that.
Yeah. And
there's still that mixed concept of like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Plus a bag of treats. And when you're trying to train a dog with a plus bag of treats, it's like, we don't have too many today. But like, you're not going to learn anything if you're not earning like your salary. If I cut your salary to like, oh, you don't get much today, the performance rate's going to be rubbish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of those little easy concepts. Training marker words. Just, I think if we could get them to train marker words, list, food, drive, play, and recall, all those people would just have, so the dogs would never go back. Whereas with Walker on a short lead and a harness around the block, but she's still lunging at stuff no matter. We try and pat her and say it's okay, and I'm like, it's another one, like that's just sending you down the toilet. You're reinforcing the behavior, or you're rewarding or consoling the not the emotion, because you can't compare emotion, right? But the act, which is why everybody that has a little purse dog bites everyone, because they go, stop it, Dolce, or whatever Dior, whatever what's the one at the headlands?
Chanel.
Yeah, Chanel. And the one at the headlands called, no, it's one of those, Princess or something. She's actually a really cool dog. She's a black Pomeranian.
Oh, nice.
And it's his daughter's dog. But like the old Frosty's like one of the old grumpy surfers from around here. And he walks her up there and kill everybody, kill. And she just comes over all happy to meet everyone. Porsche, I think it is. But yeah, they're kind of like, anyway. Got sidetracked again. Hey guys, I just need a moment of your time. Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking at the analytics and not even half of you are following or liking us on YouTube, Instagram, or Spotify. So please jump on at least one of these platforms, give us a like and a follow, and help support the program. Cheers guys, and keep dog training fun. You enjoy the rest of the show.
What are like your top 5 tips for getting rescue? Like what to do?
Or what would you do?
What would I do? So I guess that is when you sort of asked about, would I get a rescue? And I've been wanting to for a long time foster, and just because of my home situation and Margie and work and stuff, I haven't been able to, but it's definitely still on the cards. Moving very soon, and hopefully once we feel a bit more solid there, want to foster with the goal of making the dog more adoptable and happy. So I guess with my imaginary foster dog.
Yeah. Give us a breed and a name.
Breed and a name. I mean, it's going to be a staffy mix of something. Yeah. It's going to be a big melon head.
We got Bella. There's Bella's
Melon head Bella?
I feel like it'll be a boy.
a boy.
I think it'll be a boy.
We call him Booklet.
I think Margie would do better with a boy. You just have a big full fed older brother for a little while. So for sure, what we spoke about, the settling in period and the 3-3-3 rule, to a point, but I think that's where you speak about they get maybe hung up on that, or it's all this focus on settling the dog in and letting them chill, whatever. That's cool.
Should we explain what the 3-3 rule is? Because we've said it twice now, and I have no idea who's listening to this. They might be like, "What the fuck is 3-3 rule?" Right.
So 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months.
I think so.
Yeah.
For me, the 3-3-3 rule is more kind of about awareness of the dog's behavior rather than this rigid rule that you necessarily need to stick by.
Yeah.
So being aware that when you bring that dog home in the first 3 days, you've taken them out of a potentially very stressful environment. Maybe you've taken them for a monster, but you've pulled them out of their home, temporary home, whatever that may be, and brought them into this strange place where they have no idea what's going on. They have no idea that this is their new home. They don't really know who you are. So there's potential for them to be quite shut down in that period. There's potential for them to have some strange behavior that you wouldn't normally see from their dog. A dog that's ordinarily toilet trained might inappropriately, toilet in the house or whatever.
Yeah. You
just gotta it's about, for me, it's about the new owner understanding that there's potentially gonna be some strange stuff and not overloading the dog in that first 3 days for sure. Yeah. So probably keeping their world fairly small and just letting them get used to their immediate sort of environment. So if you're a house with a yard, it's probably just staying in that yard, not going on these massive big walks and being like, oh, I brought my dog home. They need to meet my neighbor and they need to meet the guy at the cafe.
They're excited, right?
Yeah.
When people get a new dog, and puppy particularly, straight to the workplace or the school, that's a classic.
Yeah.
When a young kid particularly a under year 6 junior school kid gets a puppy, they're like, can I take him to school for show and tell? And you're like, oh my God.
I took my puppies to preschool. So I was working out. I was like, guys, got a puppy. They loved it.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody else loved it while the dog's like, what the fuck?
I mean, how often does that come up when
No,
someone's
that
like,
was
oh, my
fine.
dog loves this?
Yeah.
I bet they do, but it's A toddler loves sugar, but that doesn't mean it's the best thing for them.
Lexi was all up in their faces, and Vander was trying to take them a little bit.
Nice. So he was just chasing the cat under the table.
The cat.
Hey, Phoebes, the dinner time.
And then like the 3-week point is once they hit that 3-week point, the dog's starting to like settle in and be like, oh, like cool, this is my home. I'm
My new home.
I'm not being ripped out of here. I'm not going anywhere. I'd still be starting training and stuff straight away and building a relationship with the dog straight away.
Yep.
But still keeping their world small in that first 3 days.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't mean you can't train the dog. It doesn't mean that you can't start hand feeding. It doesn't mean you can't start installing markers. It doesn't mean you can't start creating this bond with them through training.
That's right. I think a lot of people get training and those like connection systems and communications. Because a lot of people, you say training, they're like, cool, when do we start with sit, recall, loose lead walking? And it's like, dude, there's so many more fundamentals that come under that category. Like you say, like hand feeding, marker work, association, and sound things. Like, it's pretty wild. But they don't get that. No one, like it's not known unless you're an avid dog person.
Can we leave the cat alone? Me too.
And then like the 3-month point, by that time we're hoping that like that's the dog that you've got at that 3-month point, sort of their personality and stuff should have all settled in, and that's kind of like the dog you've got to a point. Anything that you're going to work on through training for sure. Yeah. But like, they should be settled, they should be relaxed, their personality should have come out by that point. They're chill, they know it's their home, they're not going anywhere.
I have found a few like oddball cases where they get to that like 2 months, 8 to 10 weeks. And if the dog was in the pounds at that time or with their foster for that time, they can go into a bit of a like, fuck, my time here is about to be up. Particularly a dog that's been moved multiple times, like the in and out of homes. They really struck, they're almost like comfy because they're here for a few weeks and then they're like, oh, it's getting to that time again. And they'll like, you see them regress a bit in behaviors.
Yeah.
Luna. Luna definitely. And I think this lady that I was speaking to this week, that she was just on 8 weeks and she'd been with a foster for 8 weeks and then been in the pound for 3 months. And I was like, they're really same sort of dates.
Yeah.
And if you saw good behaviors and then it's tapering, you might find the dog's kind of picking up a routine that probably thinking that every time you go out, she could be spooked.
Yeah.
Like it takes a while for that knock of fear, right?
Yeah. Anticipating another big change.
Like car trips can be super traumatic.
Yeah.
So while he used to get car sick, like he drives back to Coffs Harbour and he's just doing that thrust in the mouth the whole way. And then if we went through the bends from here, he would just throw up every time. Like he used to get car sick so much. Probably still would if I let him see out the window. But when he's crated now, does bother him, sleeps for hours. Cool. So that's the 3-3-3.
Yeah.
And you're then doing your marker word, basic fundamentals with your rescue.
Yeah, so I brought my foster
Bella.
Bella with a penis and balls. They wouldn't have balls from a rescue.
Baloo. I got a Baloo in the backyard. I'll introduce you to him. I like Baloo.
So I brought this melon head back home.
Yeah.
I'm doing hand feeding. I'm doing markers. I'm doing crate training. I'm doing place training. I'm doing loose lead walk. And I'm doing some kind of play enrichment. And for a dog like that, and one of my favorite things is tug.
Yeah.
And then from there, I can teach impulse control. I can teach an out, so they can drop things that they've picked up that they potentially shouldn't have.
Yep.
But we're also just like hitting these points for dogs. So dogs love to like thrash around, wrestle, play. It's such a good like bonding game. It's cooperative. It's not just like standing in a field throwing the ball and doing nothing from that.
And so you probably feel this question just as much as I do, but how is that not teaching my dog to attack other things and bite stuff?
Yeah.
You know?
Get that all the time. And like I've answered questions about it before. So like super common here, like, oh, it's going to make my dog aggressive.
Yep.
Or it's going to make it steal socks off the line, or it's going to do this. So, like the dog has that inside them already. It's a natural genetic trait for the dog. It wants to do that. It's normal for the dog. So all we're doing is giving that dog a constructive outlet for it to fulfill the need. And one of the like human sort of references is I use like a sports person, like a rugby player or a boxer that doesn't get to do that anymore and feels like pent up, and then potentially is out in other areas that aren't appropriate.
Yeah.
So it's just about giving the dog that constructive outlet that we can then also teach the dog other things and channel in the right way, so that it doesn't go seeking to do that behavior elsewhere. It's not just like a lounge. It's not.
You find people, humans that do like any of those sort of physical martial arts, MMA and all that sort of stuff outside of, MMA, maybe not some of those like the crazy, but like jiu-jitsu and karate and
I
all
would
that
know.
stuff.
That was my entire life, and then I got an injury, and I got told I was not allowed to do it ever again.
What did you do? Tell me.
Oh, I tore my AC.
No, what were you doing?
Jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
There you go. So then, how did you feel when you were told that you can do
I
it?
was in tears. I thought my world was
And did you
complete.
lash out at someone?
Did you go and bite someone on the leg?
I went on a bit of an alcohol like tangent. I was just like drinking and partying all the time.
Man is an outlet.
Yeah.
That would, some would say, not like appropriate, right? It went into, you poured your energy into something else.
Yep.
To counteract this feeling of
That's
not being able to do the thing you wanted to do.
Fundamentally, that's what reactivity is, right? It's a burst of energy put into an activity that's undesirable, right? So, or inappropriate at that time.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, well done. But yeah, like you find the people that do that sort of stuff are like calm.
Yeah.
And like you wouldn't know. Like your dad's, he's super mellow when I meet him in
Yeah,
Japanese.
he's a brown belt.
Yeah, it's brown.
Brown.
Purple?
Yeah, no, brown.
Brown.
He's a
Yeah. And he's so chill.
Yeah.
I would not mess with him. I've seen a video. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Nice bloke. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like that sort of old school, like the blokes and stuff starting fights at the pubs, they're not the ones that are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're always like, they've got other shit going on in their lives. They're angry, they're grumpy, they take it out on someone else.
Other frustrations.
But, if you channel that into something constructive, then they'd be all right.
Yeah.
Like there's 3 billion
Whoa.
like movies about it, right? About
Catch
like, the teenagers that are doing the wrong thing or whatever, and then someone takes them under their wing and puts them into a sport or whatever, and they change their life. And like this, that story's been told, 1,000 times or more. And it's the exact same for our dogs. That if we don't give them the right outlets, they're going to go looking for it somewhere else.
Yep.
And pretty much guaranteed it's going to be something that you don't like.
Yeah, totally. And I always try and sort of say to people, like, if your dog gets so much joy out of biting this particular toy, they don't need to bite anything because they get more fun doing this. Like, biting you is not going to be as fun as biting this. And we make it that way with our specific, methods in your training of the bite. It's not just like, you have it, let's argue about it. Like, there's quite succinct little notes and methods to the madness that I didn't even realize there was so many that I was doing until somebody wrote them down, and I was like, oh, I do that, and I do that, and that. Oh, that's why it works. And then now I like really make a point to tell people that's why you do it. Like, it was just something I was doing because it felt normal.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed playing with him. So like when he'd lose, I'd run off and celebrate.
Yeah,
So, like,
100%.
I'd just be like, sucker, and then when he'd win, I'd be like, fuck, and like really animate it, because it like he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's all the only reason I did it. I didn't. It was only until another trainer fully sat down and went into it in depth and was like, no, these things give you that supplemental connection and motivation to then want to keep playing. So yeah, it's a big thing. This is the cat, everybody, Phoebe. We mentioned her in a previous, don't eat the monkeys, in a previous episode, and we said the cat would be here. And I was planning on feeding the animals before the episode, and I did not. And this is what we get. This is cat eating the microphone. She's a rescue. She was a rescue. I walked past the cat shop with my partner at the time, the pet shop, and at the time, well, she's not here anymore, so it was at the time. That's a correct statement. You can't say that about your current partner.
He's an ever-evolving character.
He is. Wow. What do you get for filming outside? But I walked past and saw the cat, and it was because my partner at the time had sent me photos of her cat, which was like this big, what are the big ones? Mancoons. And they come in that cool tricolour. And I didn't realise that only the females come in the tricolour.
Yeah.
And she was in the back window. And I was like, whoa, cool cat. And then we went off somewhere else, and she went into a girl shop, and I was like, okay, I'm going back to the pet shop. And I went back, and they were like, do you want to get her out and cuddle her? And I was like, yes. And I just put her in my pocket. And that was it. I walked out with it. Literally, impulse buy.
Still has her.
Still have her. I have tried to rehome her. No, I haven't. I thought the ex was going to take her when she left, but she didn't.
And she offered to steal her not that long ago. She was like acquiring or taking things.
Yeah, she just gone. We're like, we had to sort out so that she can. Yeah. I would miss the cat terribly, I reckon. But as much as she drives me up the wall, you're very like, take what they want, take affection when they want it.
To be fair, Phoebe is an angel of a cat. You don't appreciate her because you haven't dealt with an actual shithead cat.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have a shithead. If I had a shithead cat, it'd be a rescue. No, I wouldn't do that either. I'd get a cat trainer. Are there cat trainers?
Yeah.
There's cat trainers.
Is there?
Yeah.
We should look. No, we're not looking at that. We're supposed to be. I'm always like, let's do this new thing, like this podcast. Or we're supposed to be niching down.
Yes.
All right. So we covered everything that you're going to do with Bella.
No, it's Baloo now.
Oh, Baloo.
Baloo.
Sorry, Baloo. So
Yeah.
he's transgendered into Baloo. What are his pronouns?
He, him.
He, him.
Maurice.
Anyway, we won't talk about that. Don't you laugh. This is very dangerous territory. We're going to stay the hell away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about... Oh, this was where I was going to go. I've had a few, and with the rescues, where... And it is normally like, people want to rescue a dog when they're coming into retirement, or when their life is like at a point where they've got more time. And they're like, I need something. And a dog is a really good thing to bring in at that point in life. And I think it's a great idea. Like, you got time to do it, do it. You can enjoy it. You spend time with your dog, you give them a lot. But I've only sort of found recently, I have a couple of clients who are getting dogs that are like, without offending anybody, like, too much dog.
Yeah.
Like, and they can't physically maintain or keep up, whether they can't do the walking or they can't do the play. Have you experienced that? And then what you do?
Yeah. Not necessarily through the rescue side of things, but I have come across clients that have got young dogs again, or like, you know, it's that typical thing of like, you know, they've had this breed dog all their life, and then their last one passes away, and they're like, oh, like, I'm gonna get a puppy, and it's been like 15 years since they had a puppy.
Yeah, classic.
They're 15 years older.
Don't remember what it was like.
Don't
Very
remember
different.
what it was
15
like.
years ago is very different times too. Like, yeah.
And even like I have a current client now who she actually does. It is a rescue. Malibu, big boy, 14 months old and like 55 kilos.
Wow. That's a lot of.
He's a big boy. Went over for the first initial like meet and greet and stuff, and like jumped up on me and it's like paws on the shoulders and he's like there. He's lovely. He's just goofy. He's just got a lot of rasp on it.
Yeah, and what's he like to train? What are Mal's? Not Mal, but like Malmu.
He's my first one. I've trained a couple of like huskies before through the shelter. He seems alright. Like people talk about like the you know, the like Alaskan breeds and stuff, or that they're, you know, a bit aloof and more like cat-like and whatever. Like, yeah, he reminds me nothing of a cat. But just it's hard to look at him and go cat. Yeah. We've only done one, so we've done like the meet and greet. We've done one session together, and it was kind of like following like guests coming over protocol. He'd very like rush the door, jump on them. Yeah. If you call him back, he'd come back and be like, and run back and like jump on them. So it's kind of like running.
So this is something recent?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
so let's make a note of it, and then in say 6 months when we get you back on.
Yeah. How's he doing?
Yeah, let's get a now and then.
Gordon.
So we're gonna a photo of Gordon. Good name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a photo. You're gonna send me a photo of Gordon. I'm gonna bang it up there.
Put him up there.
And then when we come back, we're gonna refer back to this episode and be like, tell us how Gordon is. Everyone is gonna be dying to know if he did. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
So from that, like he was fine. Like we were doing, you know, we're trying to make sure that his bed, he sort of half has like a bed fan, not really sort of like it's like bed, and then like has to like take him over there, so it's sort of not really.
Are they crazy?
No.
Yeah.
Open to it, and he's a big boy. Like
you're talking like a crate this big.
Yeah.
Like,
and like she pointed, she had this like desk sort of table over time. She's like, oh, I thought about like making one, but like I have to raise it, and then I can't really use the table anymore. So we kind of just came up with this protocol of like bed and being tethered there, and, and like I was like, it's kind of the same thing. Like it's a little bit trickier. Like yes, he can get up off his bed, and hopefully he doesn't drag your massive dining table across the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you want to like have a think about it, if you want to crate train, we can crate train him for sure. Yeah. It's not a problem. I was like, I understand he's a big boy.
Yeah.
So
food driven.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
At least
yeah,
you got a leg in.
did a little bit of like just building motivation, putting the markers, and then this like protocol. He seems alright. Like he's into his food. Even played a little bit of like tug with him. She was one of these ones that have been told by the breeder many years ago, never play tug with your dog, especially this breed. They get aggressive and they're dominant. And I don't know.
Oh,
I
so
swear.
wild.
I swear.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Like, fine. But she's one, like, I walked away from the session and I was like, she is that bit older. I played a bit of, like, tug with him and he's not too full on, but, like, if we build the motivation into the game, like, he's big enough that if he gets excited about it, she's not going to be able to do that. So I've sort of gone away and had another think about it and maybe, like, something more like flirt pole or something like that
Or something.
is a little bit maybe less full on for her. So yeah, we'll see what direction I go with that. But
Yeah.
There's also another question with play, just while you're on it, because I'm assuming you want people to play with their dogs instead of them getting a toy that is just self-fulfilling. Now, in this case where it's too much dog, what would you say in that aspect? Or is that themselves?
I would still I still think that you can transform, a game of fetch into a game that's played with the owner and stuff. It's not about also like even fetch can be a game that they're playing together that doesn't put so much physical strain on the owner. I play like toy search games with my own dog and I promote that with like other people. Same thing, like it's still the toy and like they still get to throw this trash the toy around and stuff, but maybe it's not so much physical or we're tapping into more of like the mental side of the game.
Yeah, I think if you I normally tell people to stop playing fetch when I start working with them because it's just dogs train them to be a ball thrower, right? But if you, like these two, if you take them down to the park, I still play fetch with the frisbee ball rope, but there's rules.
Yeah.
And there's controls.
Yeah.
And like they can both stop and drop the toy or stop chasing it if I call them. So it's still got thinking and control in it. And as long as you have that, it's like those videos of people roughhousing and wrestling saying, don't do this unless you can,
Unless you can
stop, turn it off, sort of thing. But I think a lot of people, early days, when you got a puppy at like 4 months, starting to get a bit tired of it and just want a tired puppy. And the quickest tire out is 10 minutes with ball.
Yeah.
Until they just, and then literally, oh no, we'll go down there for 10 minutes and he's gassed, he loves it, and then just comes down and sleeps. And I'm like, yeah, just crap.
Just so it's also just too much risk with injuries. Like my Kelby does have bad hips, so I don't make that unless she's running into the water. The water is that like
soft up.
actually and landing pad for her. And then my hero is just absolute buffhead that throws himself around, and I'm scared he's gonna hurt himself in a way I can't be able to afford or fix because he's just stupid.
Yeah.
So controlled fetch, yes.
Yeah.
Throwing ball, I'm too nervous with all the vet constantly on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for that, it would be like that reward placement. So like throwing the ball, but having them held in that position. And then once the ball's like slowed down or maybe you haven't thrown it that far, then sending them to go get it so that they're not like jumping and twisting through the air or like whatever.
Yeah, sick. Very cool.
Cool. So yeah, currently I do my more than a walk service.
Yep.
That's fully booked out, not taking on any more clients. So my current
5 days?
that I have, 4 and a bit.
Yeah.
I've
How
got like
many are you covering in a day?
5.
Cool.
Yeah, something like that. Bit there.
Yep.
And then filling up other spots. So that's like a fully booked day, and then I've got a few other like patchy spots where I'm starting to move more into like the one-on-one stuff.
Yep.
Almost finished up my program. Just need to film some of like the online course part, which is going to be at the beginning of it.
Killed me over Christmas doing that. Mate,
It's one of those
so
things.
much time in front of these bloody things.
Yeah.
Everything.
Just need to do it. It's just one of those things. Like it looks like this mountain that I got to climb, but just got to
Do when it's done. It
and
feels
do it. And then when it's done, it's just like that's the first step in the program.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Very cool sending that out. It's like feels real. Every time I send it, I'm like, here's our thing.
Yeah.
Like it's cool.
So yeah, I put together this 6-week program aimed directly at like staffies, bully breeds, excitable sort of dogs.
Yep.
Called the Staffy Freedom Formula.
Sick.
And it's about going from a dog that you feel like you can't take anywhere because they're just like crazy, they're on lead, they're super excited, to the dog you can sort of take anywhere. Kind of creating this like perfect pub dog, perfect cafe dog.
Yep.
With this like, what's seen as this like crazy excitable package.
Yeah.
And about fulfilling them and like channeling that energy into the right thing and teaching them some skills so that they can then handle being able to walk nice hill lead, take anywhere.
What are your core, like what are your chapter learnings or what are your core teachings that you're going to put in there?
So there's like a foundations like mini course, online course. So a few videos, which is starting with building their motivation, both food and sort of like toy, talking about like bad habits with that, how we can start to like build their food drive, installing their markers, the communication system that we're going to have with the dog. There's going to be a crate training video in there, but those first two are the main ones that they need to like cover before then starting.
Yep.
And then it's just 5 weeks back to back in person.
Yep.
I think session one, testing me a little bit here. I think session one is kind of like the intro to the game, because I want to straight away early on have this area of Game of Tug, have this thing where they're able to channel their energy into something constructive.
Yep.
And some loose lead walking.
Yeah, nice.
So sort of some leash handling skills, fitting the equipment, whatever that's going to be.
Yeah.
Slip.
It's obviously moldable to each one of your clients.
Yeah.
Right? Like you've left it a little bit blurry so you can tweak it for each and every one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And then it's just like stepping stones onto that. So like leave them with that, and the initial sort of play is just about building motivation into the game. We're not worried about putting any of the control on that stage, and like the loose lead walking, and they've got to progress through that week. And then hopefully when I come and see them that second week, at least at the front of their house on low level distraction, they should have a nice loose lead walk and stuff. And we start like talking about building on that. And then we move on to like introduction to some control positions. So like they need a down and like the place command and stuff, and starting to teach them to have like an off switch.
Yeah.
That's sort of the intro to that. And then it's just like building on that week to week and making it, changing environments and adding distractions.
Yep.
Then we start to build onto the game. So we want to layer in our control of the game of tug. So now it's not just about like fulfilling the dog or an outlet. Now we're talking about like teaching the dog the out, and then we're going to start to put some of these like positions from week 2 of holding a sit, holding it down, then starting the game again, teaching the out.
Cool.
Something like that. So
Sweet. Of course.
and then ending, we're working up to this point of by week 6 that we can we can have our session in the park and our walk and our play session, go to a pub or a cafe, and the dog has it down, they have a settle, they have their off switch, so they can just chill out, relax. But it's about teaching people that we've got to fill the dog's needs before we ask them to do something pretty friggin' boring, right?
Yeah, totally.
But then that opens up the dog world, and like these dogs love being with us, especially those like snappy bully breeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're very people orientated. So if you want to be able to take them anywhere, you've got to satisfy them first and look after them first, and then move on to
I think that's all it is. So, no,
Yeah.
dog. I mean, these dogs are a bit older now. I could take them to a cafe and say down, and all right.
Yeah.
Not perfect.
Yeah.
But pretty good.
Yeah.
But they'd be frothing on what comes afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I'd make sure they get a big blow up after that.
It's kind of the same as like taking your toddlers. Like you're gonna come in prepared with like making sure they've got instinct and they're a bit tight so they can apply and settle. Like a lot of dog training, it's kind of how you would apply to managing toddlers.
Yeah. So it comes up quite a lot in training. People would kick, can we do this with the kids? I'm like, crate them or tie them up? Go for it.
Yes.
I won't call protective services. I'm not a kid
It
guy.
has been effective. We do know someone who has a story.
Good.
Steve.
Oh,
I'm sure.
shh, we won't talk about that. But we'll get him on when he's on.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to get Steve. That's Steve Austin. All right, man. I think let's wrap it up. So tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you, the best way to contact you, where you work, all your details, and send me a picture and I'll put it up there as well. But
Cool.
Go for it. Tell us all your stuff.
So best way currently is probably just through Instagram. That's the most sort of up to date and easy for us to just start the conversation. So that's just Margie Me on Instagram.
Cool.
I do have a website which is margieme.com.au. It's going through some changes, but feel free to
Tweaking. It's got a
hit me up.
contact button.
It's got a contact button.
Cool.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a Facebook page, but don't really use it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I'm out and about in the Inner West a lot. I'm always happy for people to come up to me and have a quick chat. I can. I'll let them know if the dog's not okay.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. Like, and it's something I always say to people as well. If you see us out, we're really keen to chat with you.
Yeah.
But just check before you come over.
Yeah.
Because more often than not, 60% of the dogs aren't friendly.
Yeah.
Or that approachable. And or we need to tell the dog what to do before you approach. certainly don't come over with your dog off lead.
I might put you to work though if you come over.
Yeah. Oh,
I might be
yeah.
like,
We
I'm
always
just going to use you for like 5 minutes for a quick session because that's one of the trickiest part of doing like the more than walk and more than train stuff is finding those controlled sort of interactions. So if you want to ask me some questions, you got your dog, I might make you work.
trade off.
Yeah.
Half price session.
Ooh.
No, that was a game changer when I started bringing the girls on. Was like when I first brought Loz on. Being able to do 2 or 3 dogs at a time and like pack walk, or up to 8 when we go, because you can have 4 per person with a little leg and stuff. But then having one of the girls to be able to manage either my dog or another client's dog at the same time, push the success of that counter conditioning and reactivity stuff. So like tenfold, for sure, absolute tenfold. And it's again working in our group classes because you're there with like-minded people working off the same sort of situation. It's not somebody passing by where you're like, oh, you didn't react that time, great, but they're gone.
Yeah.
You want to be able to like, does he know this or is it just a fluke?
Yeah.
Like you can actually test the learnings. So yeah, I'll work with you anytime, man. If you want to bring dogs up the beaches or we want to come down that way, I'll come down.
Yeah, just not on Friday.
No, on Friday. No, we'll probably do a weekend or something to come down with the dogs, I'm sure. Cool, that's it. Thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure. See you again in maybe 6 months.
Yes.
And we're going to hear about Gordon. There you go. Righto.
You teach him like sledding. Every people put on a wheelchair and I'm like, let's go down the street.
When you said things to do with Gordon without like being too physical, I had a tug toy tied to the back of a remote control car in my head for some reason. I was like, that would be sick fun because you could really run him.
All right. Like she's a cool client. She's open to a lot of stuff. So
I wonder if he would do that sprint dog chase the thing.
Like
Brindley's doing it.
It's like a
the plastic bag on the road.
Yeah.
Sprint dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brindley's doing it. And it's down closer to you than it is here. It's an hour and a half from here, so it's probably like 20 minutes from your place.
He kind of like plods along. I've seen he goes out with like a group walk once a week.
Okay.
I've seen videos.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen 30 seconds. He seemed happy.
Yeah. So we're keen to see. So we'll get a photo.
But he kind of like plods along. I don't know if it's not like the best.
Speed up.
Oh, he's a bit chill.
He's a bit like he's just like he doesn't have a lot of speed. So I don't know if like
kilos,
yeah. We'll find a motivator.
Yeah.
No, cool. All right, wrap us up, Lissy.
Give him a follow. Would you like him?
Like and follow. He'll answer all your calls and chats.
Like and follow us and hit us up on Instagram.
You can find us through Margie Me, or you can find Margie Me through us as well. We're all linked up. But yeah, cool.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Catch up. Wolf out. I reckon it's staying. I think it's going to stay.